So in this example, what I'd like to do is go over how to start a new journal at the locations that you hunt. And there's two ways to think about this. You could either do this live while you're hunting on the stand, or you could do this historically. So for example, you get home at the end of the day and you forget to make your logs. You could certainly go into this app later in that evening, the next day, the next week, whenever it is that you would like to do it, and go enter past journals. For this example, we'll do something that happened in the past. So I know that this location is my 7-point stand that I've long named 7-point stand. So here I'll say new journal. So it takes me to the new journal setup page. At this point, I could fill out the journal name. So if I want to give it a very specific name, like first day of buck season, or first day of archery season, or second Saturday of archery, whatever it might be, you could certainly name it. If you don't name it, it's just going to save the date and time as the name of the journal. You could go back and you could change the current date and time. So let's say that, I made this journal in January 14th. And I could also change the time of the day when it started. Let's say that I started hunting at 7:30 a.m. And the location this is where I could pick from all the locations that I have pinned. And at this point, I will pick the 7-point stand. So here's how you define your hunt style and game. So I'm going to be hunting out of a stand. I'm going to be hunting deer, and because this is late season, I'll be using my bow. So again, this is just the filling out the new journal section. Very easy to do. You could either do it live on the spot, on the stand, or you could do add historic hunts. Once you hit start, it's going to drop you at the 7-point stand, and you could begin entering all your observations or notes. Now that we're in a new journal, and this is called Saturday's Journal from Saturday, January 14th. You're basically presented with a map that you could change and look at topographic maps, or you could change it back to satellite maps. And the idea here is to journal anything that happens during the time that you began hunting. So at the very beginning of the hunt, let's say that I saw 3 deer at 7:45 a.m. So I was no sooner got set. Now I saw 3 deer at 7:45 and I hit save. What it actually does is it drops a pin on your map at that time and that location. So let's say maybe a little bit later in the day I saw 4 deer. So I again hit the plus button. I click on deer, up my count to 4. I could make any notes about those deer, and let's say that those deer were spotted at 7:55 a.m. and you hit save. Throughout the day, you could continue to make pins and you could continue to make observations. Other things you could do in your journal are simply uploading a picture. If you have any good pictures you'd like to add, you could change your harvest icon. You could indicate that you harvested something, and you could certainly just make notes.